Hello, my name is Faisal Khan. I want to talk today. There's a lot of conversation and chatter going on the internet, especially on the YouTube, of ODL, on-demand liquidity by Ripple, the XRP, etc., and Stellar, and all these other organizations that are now basically trying to have pinging each other and saying, hey, you know what, we have signed up another company, we have signed up another company, and so forth. There are a couple of problems I want you to understand. Why is it that suddenly we are now hearing about, MSBA and money transfer service this and money transfer service that? Well, previously, both Ripple and Stellar, they went after banks. And that's where, they discovered that banks were mostly interested in messaging services. Banks were not as nimble and fast in making a decision as Ripple would like them to be, or Stellar would like them to be, or anyone else would like them to be. And basically, the banks are very conservative, But what they did not, and this is something very important, in 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, most of these institutions like, Ripple Labs, like Stellar, like, the others who came up, ignored the money transfer operators, the money services businesses. They said, you know what, this is like, in many ways it was looked down upon. Oh, I don't want to deal with them. I don't want to deal with them now. But today, all these money services businesses are the stars of all these companies. And the reason is because this is the true low-hanging fruit. It was a misguided effort, and that's the word I use. It was a misguided effort. It's my personal opinion. I'm saying this thing, but I felt it was a misguided effort to go after the banks directly, because once you actually go after the lowest hanging rail, which is the lowest hanging fruit, which is the money services business, the money transmitter license holders, the money transfer operators, the money service operators. These are the people who are truly moving value and are willing to move value if they can save even a tiny bit. And that is what we're seeing now. And that is where we're seeing a lot of these, Brad Garlinghouse go and comment about it, Jed McKellop comments about it, and many others do the same thing. That they are now approaching these money services businesses, these money transfer companies, and are signing them up, and are who are going to be using this thing. So that's the first thing. I always wondered, why was it that they went after banks and ignored them? Well, the case was, like I said, it was a misguided effort. They thought if they get the banks, they get the big guys, the small guys will come eventually. I think they sort of learned the turning circle of the big banks is a huge radius, and it just doesn't, they're not able to incorporate and are not nimble enough for the plans that these companies have. But the MSPs are, because they're smaller, they're more nimble, they're very focused in certain areas. And like I said, it's a very competitive market, the P2P market. If they can save some money on it, so they can definitely go and make a dent over there. But there's one thing that I want you to understand. Just because you signed up on RippleNet doesn't mean that your Nostro account and the money that you parked over there in Pakistan or Bangladesh or India or Vietnam or Philippines is going to go away. No, the pre-funding requirements have not gone away. I will repeat that. The pre-funding requirements have not gone away. As a money services business that is wanting to terminate, let's say, transactions into India or Bangladesh, you have to pre-fund those accounts. That by law needs to be changed on the receiving end. So India needs to change the law, Pakistan needs to change the law, Philippines needs to change the law, Bangladesh needs to change the law, Nepal needs to change the law, Nigeria needs to change the law, Tanzania needs to change the law. Until the laws are not changed, the pre-funding will remain there. And the second part is, who is going to be the liquidity provider? This is a very important part. I mean, Stellar is trying to find anchors, and so is Ripple. The whole issue is, when you bring a liquidity provider, don't be fooled by the fact that, you could send $1 million from here to there and it'll cost you 1 XRP or half an XRP or a 1/10 of an XRP. That's the network cost. The on-ramp and off-ramp cost is where the money is, and the money is going to be made. A liquidity provider is not going to do this for free. They're going to come and charge maybe 10, 20, 15 basis points on the on-ramp and maybe 10, 20, 30 basis points on the off-ramp. So you have maybe a transaction that would otherwise cost quite less. Now it's going to cost you maybe, 35, 45, 50 basis points just to happen, because it is going through an exchange process, or a liquidity provider is going to charge money. Even in the most, let's say, the best exchanges in the world, 10 basis points is nothing. So by de facto, the on-ramp and the off-ramp cost is 20 basis points. So just because you're on the Stellar network, just because you're on the Ripple network, just because you're on whatever network, the Ethereum or the Bitcoin, etc., doesn't mean that the cost of the transaction is going to be zero or minimal or de minimis charge is going to be applicable. It's not, because the on-ramp and the off-ramp, the connectors, the people who are taking the fiat, converting it into the cryptocurrency, taking the cryptocurrency and converting it back into fiat, and then maybe connecting it to the bank or the money transfer service operator, whoever, the liquidity provider over here, they are certainly going to charge money, and it's not going to be as cheap as you think it is going to be. So these two observations, the first one was that there was a misguided effort. In hindsight, it's very easy to say this, but I've been saying this for a long time. It's not the banks, it's the MSBs that's lower in the rung that you need to go and sort of address and market and sell to. And then the second thing is this, again, misguided understanding by many people. I know a lot of people in the Ripple space, and I ask them one very simple question: what's the cost of the transaction? And they tell me, and it's always invariably wrong, that the cost of the transaction is just going to be a couple of XRPs or a couple of XLMs or a couple of ETH, well, a fraction of an ETH, or a very small fraction, a couple of Satoshis, etc. That's incorrect. The on-ramp, off-ramp cost is the main cost, and that is, pretty much there. Do they save? There are many things we can talk about it. I think I'm going to do a video and show you exactly how money actually moves. Not a diagrammatic thing, because a lot of people sort of lose that, but I'm going to show you with some notes and coins how money moves, and then I'm going to show the same example how money moves on, let's say, the Ripple net or on the Stellar network, and I'm going to do a comparison, and then you will be able to understand visually as to where the charges are and how it works. If you have a question or a comment on this video, please put it down in the comment section. If you have a business inquiry, there's a contact form in the description below, as well as a business WhatsApp. Till next time, stay safe, and this is Faisal Khan signing off.